wanted to just pop on here and give some brief thoughts and remedies for what's happening in the world. So there's just a lot going on. We are still in a pandemic across the world. We are still not quite open and not quite shut down. We're still in this transient place. Each state, each place looks a little bit different. And I promise that I will do a follow-up video of describing trauma and all the different types of trauma. But for now, I just want to check in. I just want you to check in with yourself. Where's your breathing at? Where have your thoughts been? How are you feeling? You could be feeling many things all at once right now. That would be pretty standard and normal in today's world. Regardless of our background, our perspective, our belief systems, we can feel it all around us. That's how our nervous systems are built. They're built to pick up what feels safe and what feels unsafe. And if we can tap into the safety in your resources, that's great. If you're just totally shut down, can't deal with anything, that's understandable. Give yourself some grace. If you want to just run away and hide from it and feeling really anxious and fearful, I get that too. Maybe you feel like this has thrown some logs on a fire that's been burning for a while, but the fire is bigger and brighter and more intense right now. These are our automatic responses to feeling unsafe and to experiencing and witnessing trauma. The first tip is, regardless of where you're at, what you're feeling, what you're sensing in your body, the first thing is take a breath in. Doesn't have to be a deep breath. Just notice your breathing inward, filling up your lungs, and then release. Exhale through your mouth and push it all the way out. Do that a few times, just slowly breathing in through your nose, filling your lungs wherever it feels comfortable for you. And slowly release through your mouth, push it all the way out. Notice if you can feel your fingers and your toes. If not, that's okay. That's just telling you where you're at. If you can't feel them, then try and notice anything in your space that feels safe. Like I have my salt lamp right here in front of me, so often I will look at the glow of that. Maybe it's a pet or a plant or a picture. Maybe you just imagining a loved one that you really miss, whether you just haven't seen them in a while or they've passed on. You can even maybe try and imagine them sitting in front of you. Whatever makes you feel safe in this moment, whatever you can feel connected to. If you're feeling more of that flight response, the anxiety, the fear, one of the things that you can do is jump up and down a few times, move your feet where you're sitting, move your feet up and down. You can do some bilateral stimulation. So bilateral, we're talking about left and right brain. So we want to either hold our arms like this, you can also do that on your legs. So what that does is that's helping recalibrate. Notice your breathing while you're doing that. Obviously, if anything feels like it's triggering or making things worse, slow it down, pause, listen to your body. Finally, if you're in that fired up fight mode, there's a few things you can do. The first is any movements that come to you that you feel called to. So I'm just going to use punch because sometimes that is, we get energy built up in our arms when we're really angry and we're holding all that tension. So very, very slowly release that punch. So it would be, you start with slowly getting your hand ready and then slowly turning that and then going out. It's coming right at you. So you could do that a few times. You can also jump up and down at this point. You can find what's interesting about the fight response is that fire energy that comes along with that, feeling amped up. So trying to exert ourselves in a positive way, in a workout or in art, music. All of these things could be used for any of these states, but I find that in fight mode we're more action oriented, so we look for some of these outward things to try and help us. But art and coloring, even if it's just scribbling all over a page, also very helpful, and just being able to be present and release whatever is building up there. So I invite you to tap in. Notice what's uncomfortable versus what feels unsafe. Unsafe is there's a threat to myself or someone I love or people I care about. And the more that we can go inside of ourselves in these feelings and recognize how this is impacting us and what state we are actually in, the more control we have, the more readily available we are to empower ourselves and others, and the more we can connect and value each other. The 4 pillars. If you're not familiar with the 4 pillars, I did a video. I'll put the link below. But the 4 pillars are when we're feeling out of control, devalued, powerless, and detached. Doesn't matter who we are, we're not our best selves. And this is absolutely collective trauma. regardless of where we're standing. There's a lot of energy just passing through us, going around us, in between us. And it's really important to take care of yourself. Notice where you're at. And our one job when we're overwhelmed and all of that, and our nervous systems are trying to protect us and our brains are trying to protect us, our one job is don't make it harder for ourselves. Our one job is don't make it harder for ourselves. That's it. That's what we have to do in those moments. So be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. And I am very excited. I'm working on a longer video series. I had my first guest speaker. I promise that will be coming out, and I will follow this up also with a deeper dive on trauma and understanding the different types of trauma and trauma impacts. Until then, take care.